Hi everybody and welcome back to SpeedForce Racing. My name is JB and I'll be taking you through tonight's proceedings. But before we do anything else, let's take a look at the championship standings here in GP2. Because in P1 is Mike Bundy ahead of, P1 is Mike Bundy ahead of Peter Solheim in P2. Gold Colours is in P3 and Electro Dan is in P4. James Braden is in P5 and Yaram is in P6. Lionel is in P7, Owen is in P8, T. Jonas is in P9, Smelly Badger is in P10. Outside of the top 10 is Thomas in P11, and then Seti Crumpets in P12. Fotio is in P13, and Brett is in P14. Z-Trexter is in P15, Twan in the Netherlands is in P16. Rockin' Kid is in P17, Honey Badger is in P18, Ryan Cut is in P19, and Leroy is in P20. Here's what the Constructors' Championship looks like. It is Toro Rosso on top ahead of Williams in P2. Mercedes is in P3, McLaren is in P4, Red Bull is in P5, Haas is in P6, Alfa Romeo is in P7, Renault is in P8, Ferrari is in P9, and Racing Point is in P10. So, how is everyone doing? Yes, it is GP2 time here in SFR. It's going to be interesting to see what the GP2 drivers can get up to here. We've got a couple of new faces, got a couple of new people here to say hello, and we'll see what everyone can do as we head over to it. Last week's winner was James Braden in Spain. He is on a 4-time winning streak right now. But we have to draw attention to my co-commentator from the GP3 division. That is Twan in the Netherlands. He hasn't raced in ages, but he's now Twan here. He hasn't raced in ages due to the fact his steering wheel broke. He is now back in SFR as a full-time driver, partnering Scented Crumpets in the Racing Point car. Ignore the Force India logo on there. In the Racing Point car, so it's going to be really interesting to see what he can do tonight. So I'm going to have a sip of my water. And we'll see what's happening. So, last night was an enthralling race here in Japan. This track is extremely difficult, as we saw last night, and we'll see what all of these drivers can do. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I really can't wait to see it. Drivers we got in tonight, we have Mike Bundy, Leon, who's a new driver, Lionel, Scented Crumpets, Ryan Cut, Electro Dan, C. Pasley from GP3, Peter Solheim, Ryan Van Doom, also from GP3, as Virus comes in, a new driver. Ryan Van Doom, JB Ogan, Z-Trexter, Smelly Badger, Twan, who's here, Yaram, I believe he's reserving, I think he's still here, Owen, Thomas, T. Jonas, lots of Norwegians, Rockin' Kid, then there's me alone in the commentary booth. 19 drivers right now. I think we're waiting for number 20 to come. I'm not sure, to be completely honest, but we'll see what we can do. Twan sent me a message earlier saying he was hyped, so it's going to be really interesting to see what everyone can do. Coming to the race. And yet we have been given the call to go over to trackside now, and we'll see what all the drivers can get up to as we head onto track. Let me just mute the mic. Let me just check something for just a moment. Yep, that seems all in order. Sorry, just had to make sure I had the party on private so I can invite people afterwards. So, Japan. This track is extremely difficult, as I mentioned earlier. Very historic in Formula 1. We can look back at 1989 when Senna and Prost made contact at the chicane, at the final chicane. So Senna got penalised for cutting the corner then afterwards for restarting his car. Then if we look back to whatever year Prost was in the Ferrari, when Senna crashed into it at turn 1 in order to win the championship. This track is also the only figure of 8 track on the Formula 1 calendar. So it's interesting to see how the drivers approach that, with obviously that being a figure of 8. So much elevation change is happening at this historic track. This track built by Honda to test their cars. I believe it's Honda. Yeah, I think it's Honda. Might be Toyota. No, it's Honda. Yeah, it's Honda. That's my vast brain full of it. And being on my own tonight, you're going to get a lot of random thoughts, so just beware. This track also incredibly difficult to think about with the weather. It could be a very wet race. It could be a wet to dry race. It could be a multi-weather race. It could have snow. Who knows? It's going to be really fun to see what everyone can do as we head over to trackside now. So, what's happening, yo? It is dry here in qualifying, but I assume I'll get a message from one of the drivers saying whether it's going to be wet for me in a moment. So we're just going to wait and see. Wait till I get a message from anyone. I can't wait to see all of these drivers on track again. Only 19 tonight. Who are we missing? We're missing OJ Biogun, who's here as a reserve driver. What car are we missing? Here we go. Jack's brain. I think it's no two Hasses. Is it a Toro Rosso? It is a Toro Rosso. As we see Thomas take the track with the Haas, followed by, I believe that's Twan on his return. No, it's into Crumpets coming out. So there you see Thomas, our first driver, on track as he's about to cross the line, heading onto the track now, followed by Sinted Crumpets. They'll be giving us laps around here. In the first sector, this is very difficult for controller users here to try and get it all right and hooked up. You could tell, though, that Thomas is running a steering wheel. Look at the steering input. It's nice and smooth and precise. He knows exactly where to place the car and where not to place the car as he heads round towards Degner's 1 and 2. Long left-hander first towards Degner 1. There it is. And then Degner 2. Under the bridge, under the track, as he warms his tyres up and heading into the hairpin. This hairpin, very good overtaking opportunity. You saw a few of them last night in GP3 as we saw C. Pasley charge through the field to finish third and championship leader, but the race ultimately won by Chain Gang Wow and then second place going to Blaz MK. Running up now towards the final part of the lap. This is Spoon, where Vettel likes to go for a spin. Don't want to put all four wheels over the curb there. You will get a penalty. Now on the run to the legendary 130R. This is the corner where we saw Fernando Alonso pass Michael Schumacher. The only pass, I think, to go side by side there, or at least the first to be side by side through 130R. And there he goes. Moving a little bit as he gets to the chicane. Oh, his contact! And Center Crumpets has crashed into Leon, and Leon doesn't know what to do with himself. Center Crumpets out of qualifying already here. What on earth have I just seen? What? I am staggered from the accident I've just seen here in SFR. It was before the lap started. It looked like Center Crumpets went down the inside at the chicane, but I don't think he did. Thomas, I don't think any fault of his own, didn't even see it coming. I wonder if Crumpets lost it in 130R. He was on the soft tyres. But crikey O'Reilly, what have we just seen? If you're just joining us, Center Crumpets has crashed out on his outlap of qualifying on Thomas. Thomas, I rightly think, has done nothing wrong in that situation. I was on board with him. But, good grief. That's going to be talking fun. Okay, so I'm expecting that I'll see some notifications in a moment about that accident, which we probably shouldn't do, but good gravy. Thomas now charging up towards 130R, the scene of the incident. Sector 2, we have a yellow flag. Very low grip surface of this track here. There is a car ahead of him. That's a perfect time, though, for him to gain just a little bit of a tow, but not enough to affect him. So the wheel user, Thomas, a Norwegian driver, coming through into the chicane, locks up the inside. He's got blocked by Z-Tractor. Z-Tractor having to get out of the way of the lap. And Thomas, luckily, manages to know where he goes. Crossing the line now. First lap to 127.8. Twan now coming through Spoon. I have completely out of sync, so I'm not sure who's on a lap and who's not on a lap right now, due to the fact that I had it all timed up with Crumpets. But now looking at Twan on his return to SFR after a long time out, he is looking to score points on his first debut. He's feeling very racy in his racing point after the private test he's been doing with Sector 1, yellow flag. Can't track that though. There are missing brake marker boards to become into the chicane now. Twan going around the final couple of corners where he's on the medium compounded tyres, so he's on the slowest compound. DRS opening, and he pops it into third. Does my co-commentator from GP3. Virus in the pit lane. Here's Yaram in that time. Pedal has got second. Twan is third. Sector 1's yellow flags are waving. I believe that's just drivers getting out of the way of one another. I'm still completely reading from that accident. Sector 2's yellow flags are waving. There you see a slow car on the outside. That's a Ferrari, I believe, of, it's Leon. Leon getting out of the way as Yaram powers up towards 130R. The Williams skimming the grass. He turns in. Got it absolutely correctly as he heads towards the line. Yaram now rounding the final corner. He bails into pit lane, does Yaram. Z-Trexter on a lap. Yes. Message from Cedric Crumpets saying, Down was looking at the fuel in the ERS, didn't see him brake. Well, okay. I'm going to bite my tongue a little bit there because I completely disagree with some things, but you know, at that point in the lap, you should be looking at things. You should be all wound up and ready. Sector 2, here's Lee now, coming through the chicane now. On the medium compound tyres, what can Lee get up to? Just going to start his lap now, I believe. It looks to be, oh, actually no, that was a lap. Z-Trexter has, whoa, big drift out of his tyres as he gets to starting his lap. No, he goes his first lap on the slow one, a 2-minute lap there for the Ferrari. The Ferrari isn't that slow. Well, this year's might be. Here's Ryan Van Doom on a build-up lap, I believe. Rocking Kid has jumped up to second place now. All on the medium tyres. Lots of drivers looking to do it. They must have learned from GP3 last night. Very good race in GP3. I do urge you, if you haven't seen GP3, go and have a look at it because it really was an entertaining race. But yes, so where's Ryan? Is he on a lap? Ryan Cutt is not on a lap now. I've completely lost all sense of my system. Here's Leon in the Ferrari. He's on a powering up now. His first laps in SFR. Already done one on these tyres. Must have invalidated it as he turns in. Now through towards the final corner. Look at it, a long sweeping right-hander. DRS open now as he crosses the line, goes 5th place, does the Ferrari driver. Nino in the Red Bull, 3 seconds down in his lap, struggling at this track as you so often do when you're on a controller. I know this was a scene of my second DNF in SFR, which actually had me driving a Red Bull. This corner here at 130R, I made contact with Decadent, but Decadent chucked it up the inside at turn 1. I still retained that was not my fault. Here's T. Jonas, 2 tenths up on his time, the new wheel user. Driving a little bit injured tonight. He was in a football game last night and he's injured his groin. So best of luck to him with the injury that he's carrying in the McLaren. Just to show you why you should never play football and why it's a very, very, very silly sport. T. Jonas, though, powering up towards 130R. What can he get up to in this car? Holding the gears a lot. Holding in 7th gear heavily. Going to stay in 7th gear into 130R. Is he going to change up? He does not change up. Stay 7th gear all that time. Turning into the chicane now. Look at that. Right, then left. And now, whoa, rear end slip on that McLaren. Crossing the line. His first lap's 1:29.5. Lots of laps looking very different right now. Here's Yaron once more. Looks to be on a lap time for the Williams. No, he's not. He's building up his lap. Here's Owen. He's also on a build-up lap. He's gone very wide. Very good that he didn't lose the rear end there at 130R. Whoa, Z-Trexter, though, he has made a mistake. He's way off track. Maybe that's to let drivers through. Doesn't look to be anyone around him, so the Ferrari just handling badly as he gets to that corner. Mike Bundy, championship leader. Still running the Niki Lauda helmet that he ran last week as he gets up and through the final chicane. Now the 95. Not Lightning McQueen. No, it's Mike Bundy. Though he might be called that. He goes P3. 3 seconds faster. 2.5 seconds faster. That lap in the Mercedes. Yoram. See what he's doing. He must be on the lap now. He is on the soft tyres. Super soft tyres, sorry. Still getting it confused from the more 2019 compounds. Yoram, an incredibly quick driver. Looking to challenge up at the top. Looking to do it as soon as he can. Charging into Spoon now. What can he get up to as he turns in heavily on the brakes? He's got it right. He has ran one a little bit wide, but I think it's all still legal. No, he's ran wider there, and he's going to lose a rear end. He hasn't caught it. He's out of qualifying. Yoram, the second driver to lose it. Hello, Steve Pasley. How are you? And Yoram's going to be kicking himself. Such a low-speed accident, and the Williams crumbles against the Tech Pro barrier. Sorry, the tyre barrier. That wasn't Tech Pro. Tech Pro comes later. Electro Dan, the sole Toro Rosso tonight, driving for the team's championship as best he can. They're very high overhead. So updated table is coming next week in SFR. So I will actually have the gaps, so it will really help me out as Electro Dan goes through. I believe he's on the controller, judging by the throttle inputs there. Trying to get it round through the long left-hander towards Degner 1 and 2. Degner 1. Brilliantly clipping the apex there, and Degner 2 smacking the curb as he gets it all lined up. This is where No, Daniel Ricciardo in my career mode, but it was Daniel Kvyat in the Red Bull had a big oversteer moment and flung himself over and over in that Red Bull back in 2015. God, that was years ago now. What can Electrodan get up to as he powers through Spoon? We've seen drivers get claimed at this track if he struggles there, and he looks to be okay. Lots of drivers opting for the white wall medium tyres here. He heads up towards 130R. What can the Toro Rosso man get up to? Clipping the grass as he pulls in, apex nicely, heading towards the chicane, braking hard, and he gets it right a little bit early on the brakes, but he has got it right. Maybe the Toro Rosso doesn't like that corner very much. Coming through the final corner now, where can he go? He goes P2, a brilliant stonking lap time there by Electrodan to put him ahead of Peter Solheim. Mike Bundy is in pit lane. Twan is currently in P6. Remember, Twan has not been driving on this game for a long old time, and he's back driving after commentating last night. He had a good look at what the Racing Point can do in GP3, and now he's going to have to try in GP2, returning here to SFR. Congratulations, Twan, on your return. On a lap time now as he pulls it. I believe he's on a lap. Good rear end moment there as Twan, whoa, cuts the graphs. He said to me last night all he's looking for are points. He wants to perform well and try and battle with the big boys. He now 4 laps in this medium tyre, showing that he is, as he goes faster that sector, showing that he's doing all of his practice this time as he's pretty much sick of this game. Heading towards the line, look at that, hugging the inside wall, spearing out P11 just behind his teammate by 2 tenths. Who are we looking at now? Let's have a look at Leon. Leon is on a fast lap now, through Degner 1. Oh, someone's got off ahead. Dust piling up. I'm not sure who it was. If we can get a shot, big lock up there for Leon on the inside. Hoping to return Ferrari to glory. That's what Leon wants to do. Him and Z-Trexter. Z-Trexter only have done a 2-minute lap time though, as Leon runs wide, the Norwegian pairing battling in the Ferrari. Through Spoon now, got a very good run, runs a little bit wide, but it's fine. The lap should still count as another 12 car powers up towards 130R now. I didn't get a chance. I think that was a Haas. Must have been C. Pasley that made the mistake at Degner 2. Pulling into the chicane now. Now through the final corner as he charges up towards the line, crossing the line now, and Leon goes P2 on the super soft tyres. Owen is in sector 1. Let's see if we can find someone who's at the end of his lap. Ryan Van Doom has gone to P11 there at the end of his lap. Where's Z-Trexter, the Norwegian driver, in the other Ferrari. 2 Norwegians in the Ferraris as he heads towards it. Number 47, he set a 2-minute lap time. Doesn't want to have that stand as his final lap time. He wants to make that stick. 2 drivers that will not be qualifying here tonight. Yarim and Centre Crumpets both damaging their cars to the point that they are unable to drive them in this qualifying session. I've got hot dogs next to me. Oh, Z-Trexter has ran wide. Okay, note to self, don't mention hot dogs. No, I've got hot dogs next to me because I haven't actually eaten today. So I've got the hot dogs next to me. I'm going to try and eat them later on. Z-Trexter coming around the final run to the chicane. He has made a mistake this lap, and it was a pretty costly mistake, so he's not looking too grand. I think it's going to be about a 5th place time. No, he bails into pit lane instead. Maybe it was invalidated. Now heading towards the sharp end of qualifying now. 4 minutes left to go of qualifying. See Pasley barrel rolling up. He's on a lap now, turning in. Had a brilliant race in GP3 last night. Battling all the way through. Had some scary moments, he said. Final corner now. What can the Irishman get up to? Leader in GP3 crosses the line and goes 13th. Sorry, that everyone has apart from the virus has spent a lap time here. Ryan Van Du's on an in lap, I believe. Let's have a look at Leon. He has done a lap now, 10 seconds slower, recharge lap. Going for his 2nd lap on the super soft tyres is a bit of a risk, especially here in Japan. Really, now you should be thinking about if you want to go for a 2-lap stint on the slightly faster tyre, such as the soft tyres that most people have qualified in the medium tyres, so they go onto soft tyres consecutively now. They'd want to go out about now if they want to get 2 laps, maybe even 1 lap. There's JB Ogan in the Mercedes. Normally in the Williams tonight, reserving in Mercedes for Honey Badger, who's away. He's on the soft compounded tyres. Sorry, I still got the 2019 compounds in my head as we gear up towards that game. It's going to be a really entertaining game. How's Leon doing on his lap time? We'll see if we can get a sector split in a moment. We'll get one just as he heads to the back of Spoon, I think. The Ferrari looking very quick tonight. Could have a Ferrari on top, but don't discount any of the other drivers. Big rear end moment though for Leon. He's pushing hard. I think he might even be pushing hard to get back to pit lane. That's a big risk if he's going to try and run to pit lane and then get out and go on another set of super soft tyres. Yeah, he's down on his time, so I think he might be heading to pit lane. Big oversteer. I think that was lag as he pulls in to the chicane. Yeah, lots of lag. Sector 1, we have a yellow. I wonder if it's Smelly Badger. No, it's not Smelly Badger. No, can give us a good look to see if there is anything to do with it. Coming through now is the Englishman. See, Pasley is gone in Sector 1. Now, is that further behind or is that further ahead? Sector 1 and 2, so it's further round. I think he's retired on track. I think that's no contact given. There it is. There's Mike Bundy getting out of the way of drivers and Twan 2. Both getting out of the way as we ride on board with Smelly Badger following the 71 car. Still running the blacked out helmet for Nicky Lauder, I believe, as he ups himself round towards Spoon. Red Bull always seems to do well here at Suzuka. This track, very difficult to overtake on, so you want to have big track position. In all of this, Electro Dan has chucked himself up into third. He's not discounting himself out from a potential race win today as his teammate is away, and he wants to take away third place in the championship with this. I swear these hot dogs are talking to me right now. They're sitting there going, Jack, eat us, eat us. I can't, I'm commentating. I can smell them, that's the worst bit. Smelly Badger now heading towards the chicane now. Through the right-hander, now heading towards the long right-hander with a car ahead. It's now for Romeo. Crossing the line though, what can Gary get up to? He goes P7, well done to Smelly Badger. He now his teammate in Sector 1. JB Ogan just finishing his lap time now. Or just starting it, I believe. Yeah, it looks to be he's just starting his lap time. Crossing the line now, and he goes P15, 2 seconds down in his lap time. Z-Trexter in the Ferrari. I know we just seem to be following the same people. Here's Virus. Just about how to start his lap. Twan out of qualifying in his first qualifying session, returning to this very competitive grid here in GP2. So 15 seconds left of qualifying now as they head towards the line. Here's Ryan Cutt. Linnell retiring. P14, a difficult qualifying for the Briton. We know that Smelly Badger, his teammate, is on the wheel as now we see Ryan coming through the final corner. Now, Electro Dan has gone fastest on the soft tyres. Thomas was not safe and Ryan Cott goes third. Electro Dan is potentially our pole sitter tonight. He has another lap in him if he needs it. Here's Peter Solheim on a quick lap as well. Sector 2, we have a yellow flag. I'll see if I can find it. No, it doesn't look like I can find it. Here we have Rocking Kid coming through. Very quick driver in the Alfa Romeo. What can he get up to? So many TNR to see Fasley. Yeah, lots of TNR drivers, lots of Norwegian drivers here, as well as a Dutch one. And that is Rocking Kid pulls into pit lane. Lots of people trying out new things. Let's have a look at T. Jonas. Down in his time in Sector 1, Ryan Van Doom. Have we got a Sector 1 time? Invalidation question mark from Linnell. I can't see that's because I've made him a moderator last night. I sort of regret that. JB crossing line, that will not be a. He has got faster, sorry. He's P12 now, ahead of T. Jonas. Ryan Van Doom looking for it. Where's Virus on his first laps now? Finally asking to finish a lap time. Lee, frustrated with his track. It's going to be a tough race from P15 for the Red Bull, but he can normally stay out of trouble in lap 1. What can Virus get up to? Coming around the final corner now. Crossing the line, and he goes P6 for the Williams. Looking very quick. Is now the lead Williams. Ozzy as Yaram. Made a mistake and crossed out. Peter Solheim is potentially our pole sitter tonight. Where is he? He's 2 tenths faster. Electro Dan has got nothing in the tank left to pass him. It looks to be Peter Solheim has taken pole position here in... Yeah, he has. Everyone has finished. Peter Solheim is our pole sitter tonight here in SFR with the black helmet, the orange stripes, and the, I think the bit of blue, maybe turquoise? I want to say turquoise. Yeah, it looks like turquoise from the distance. The 69 car is on top here. as he looks to convert this victory into a win. Let's read some of this. Want to get some heat into the tyres, lost control of the spin, wasn't controlled after all. Says says Twan. All my good laps invalidated, purple one last lap, says Z-Trackster. Oof, says Lee Pasley. Pole sitter though goes to Peter Solheim as he runs to the back of what seems to be JB Ogan's car. The AI car, it's alright. 2 retirements in that qualifying session. Yarum and Scented Crumpets both will have to start the race on fresh tyres, but we'll be able to do it. So it's a Norwegian on top ahead of Electrodynamic P2. Peter Solheim takes the pole by 1.7 tenths of a second. Thomas is in P3 and Mike Bundy is in P4. Leon is in P5. Owen is in P6. Ryan Cutt is in P7. Virus is in P8. Ron Kidd is in P9. Spenny Badger is in P10. Twan is in P11. C. Pasley is in P12. J. Bugin is in P13. T. Johnson is in P14. Ryan Van Doom is in P15. Lee Nell is in P16. Z-Trexler is in P17. Yarum and Center Crumpets failed to start lap times in 18th and 19th. Remember, everyone outside of top 10 will get free tyre choice as we head on to the race. Z-Trexler saying that he thinks he could have been on pole position in the Ferrari. Ferrari look like they have pace tonight in SFR. It'll be interesting to see what the Gp2 Ferraris can get up to as we head to the line. Everyone's signing in and they're all getting ready to write their strategies out and see what this 27 lap race can give us here in Suzuka. I can't help but say it like that. Suzuka. It's like a short Suzuka. Oh, such a child. C. Parsley says P17 to podium is possible. Smiley face, because he knows he did it. So the Irishman last night showing off. He wants to show what he can do tonight. Obviously, we're getting ready to say goodbye to C. Parsley actually, as we're into the 3-week marker of how long it will be until the season ends, and I'll say goodbye to C. Parsley, who's been a staple of SFR for a long time. He's been here for the past, I think, 3 seasons, maybe 4 seasons. But everyone looks forward to this race here in Suzuka. The 11th round of the GP2 series. And let's see what SFR can bring out tonight. I seem to be just sat here waiting for the formation at the start. There's a little drone coming across. Whee! I tell you what, those wires are never that straight in real life. Actually, no, they are that straight, but not with the drone on top. The drone pulls it down. Not sure what's happening here. I hope that all the drivers are getting this like this and it isn't just me. What is happening? I think something's happened with this. Frozen. Looks to be that we are dealing with a frozen situation, so we may have to abort the race and go into a different situation. Go into a different one. I have a bad feeling we need to restart the lobby. Lots of people are saying that. I believe that we're going to have to restart the lobby. I'm just going to open up the admin chat. Sorry if I stop talking for a moment. That's probably why. I think they're basically confirming here. We're trying to work out what's happening. It seems that everyone's having the issue right now, so we're gonna have to go for a restart situation. So, if you don't know what it is, all drivers must remember that if we do go to a restart situation, very expressive word there used by Lionel in the chat. If we do go to a restart situation, which I believe we are, we're gonna have to rearrange the lobby. So. Just did what, Twan? I think we're going to look to a restart situation. Let's just restart the lobby and then we're trying to wait for a start. I think we're just waiting for that. Oh, hello. We have been sent over to green flag action right now. So yes, we are onto formation lap. No, it's okay. No need for a restart, guys. We are all ready to race here in GP2, sorry. I've been saying that all week. So, let's run through who's qualified where, because it's been a few minutes. So, we'll try and work out See Pazzi called it right, saying just wait a few minutes and it'll be interesting to see what we can do. So in P1 we have Peter Solheim ahead of Electro Dan in P2. Thomas is in P3 and Mike Bundy is in P4. Leon is in P5 and Owen is in P6 as Leon goes off. Ryan Cutt is in P7, so just behind his teammate. And Virus is in P8. Rockin' Kid is in P9. Smelly Badger locks out the top 10. All of the top 10 will be running on their... all of the top 10 will be running on the tyres they qualified on. So, no, with the restart situation aborted, it means that they will be running on those tyres. Cocker saying his teammate for the win tonight. We shall see what happens. Outside of the top 10, with 3 tyres, was Twan in P11 on return. C. Pasley, the GP3 championship leader, is in P12. JB Ogan is in P13. T. Jonas is in P14. Ryan Van Doom is in P15. Lionel is in P16. Z. Trickster has spat on the formation lap in P17. Yaram is in P18. And Centre Crumpets is in P19. Both those drivers crashed in qualifying. Cars rebuilt. And now it's time to head over to racing. Peter Solheim, first pole position in a while. Very quick driver. We'll see what he can do. Actually, my friend just saying that she's just left a job interview and she says it's gone very well. So well done to her. See, this food is talking to me and it's driving me nuts. I mean, yeah. Okay, so we'll see what can happen. Rockin' Kid has been disqualified for the session. So has Leon. So we're all going to line up. Look at that black car in the background. Who's that? Is the Renault. Okay. So all four different engine manufacturers actually in the top 4. Mercedes in 4th, Ferrari in 3rd, Honda in 2nd, and Renault is in P1. They've got the engine at the top. The factory drivers here in P6 and P7. Now we're going to head towards the lights here in Suzuka. 27 laps of racing just coming into fruition as everyone's lined up. And now we head to see the lights on board with Peter Solheim just to see those lighting gantries light up. There they are, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The lights go out now, and the drivers are away. Now it's a good start. It's a bad start for Peter Solheim. Very bad start. Electro Dan already into the lead ahead of Thomas in P2. And Peter Solheim dropping the ball into P6. Electro Dan firing himself round the outside. He is leading into turns 3 and 4. Yellow flags in sector 1. And Z Trickster is somewhere in the mix. He span at turn 1. He went aggressive and he has span. Electro Dan now is leading here in Suzuka. Do excuse me as my voice cracks. Yaram passing Pasley. Peter Solheim passed by Ryan Cutt. Something wrong with that McLaren. Maybe so. Running out wide. And there is Virus in the barrier. He's been tapped. And that was a very harsh incident there. Very hard to get caught. And that's John's going down the inside of the TNR driver. And drivers running wide everywhere. Ryan Van Doom. Rockin' Kid. Contact on the inside from teammates there. Yaram giving his teammate a little push saying, get on with it. I want to get past. Centre Crumpets has dropped down to P17 off the start, and Electro Dan is in the best place to win this race. This track is so difficult to pass at. Smelly Badger had a race in GP3 last night, looking to improve on his position of P7 that he got last night. Owen's gone wide. Already, people struggling. Here's Leon. On debut, can he get a podium? Can he get a win? Who knows? He will push you as hard as he can. Yes, Danny, says Gold Colours, as he pulls in. Then wide. Oh, and Leon's in a big moment. He's out! On debut, he qualified well. The Ferrari out of 130R. Heartbreak for the Italian squad. And the Norwegian driver, head in hands. And fear as he struggles at 130R. Just that little bit of oversteer, corrected it and lost it. Virus in pit lane, JB Ogan in pit lane, and Virus and JB Ogan both with stop and go penalties. Wow, what a crazy opening lap. Smelly Badger also with a time penalty, struggling in sector 1. Peter Solheim didn't get off the line very well at all. So Owen coming through as he heads towards to try and get past Peter Solheim. Peter Solheim, who's hopefully got some tyres back in that car. Maybe a clutch issue for the McLaren as he did nothing. He's just got wheels for the fine. He's hit Ryan Cutt ahead. He's got to be careful as he comes through Degners. And there's a battle in the background. I believe that's Rockin' Kid looking to make the pass on Twan. Down the inside at the hairpin. He has made the mistake, but he's gone way too deep. And Twan saying, thank you very much. I'm going to have that switchback. Drivers all charging round and almost a second gap at the top. Here's Rocking Kid alongside into Spoon. Is there going to be contact? They both make contact and he has gone wide and there's a big rear end step and 2 levels of contact there. Rocking Kid not giving up the space. Possibly should have to give up that position after contact, but Twan is going to look to try and get through. Ryan Cut has been passed by Solon. He does that one, and Ryan Cut's wide. He's very wide. He's got to catch the car. He has caught the car very well, though. Has the Renault. And down there comes his teammate in Zone 1. Sector 3, Yellow Flag, and Rocky Kid is out. The car looked loose, and he's out. Owen has dropped down a few positions there. Leon has left, and now Smelly Badger coming down the inside on the Renault. Red Bull versus Renault. DRS is now in play. 1 DRS zone here in Suzuka. That's the time to finish straight. You don't need any more as they come into turn 1. Smelly Badger is passed. Now we're looking at Thomas. Yaram has passed T. Jonas. Yaram, who started from the back of the grid. No, T. Jonas is coming back at him. And he makes sure that Yaram knows that the Season 3 champion in GP2 is not going to give it up. Smelly Badger losing a position as they battle in the S's. Again, lots of body contact today. I think the guys, it's almost like first day back at school. It's something you'd expect in Australia. Everyone going a little bit hard on the tyres. Thomas putting pressure on Electro Dan, looking to take a win tonight here at SFR. Last week's race winner, James Braden, is not here tonight. Centre Crumpets with a time penalty here in P14. So his streak of 4 race wins is coming to an end as Steve Pasley almost makes contact with Lee Nell, trying to dive it up the inside of the hairpin. Do excuse me as I burp a little bit. Yaram hunting down, passing the Norwegian, trying to looking down the inside. He decides not to, decides better of it. Here's Steve Pasley on the back of Lee now, looking at it. The 37 car. Yaram's made a big mistake. There's contact there. Yaram's disconnected, in fact. So that was horrible for Yaram. He had a good run, and now Steve Pasley is going to try it to 130 RS on lap 3 tonight. You never want to try it early, but he's going to have a look. He's going to try and unsettle Lee, and Lee decides not to. Lee's round wide though. Lee clipped the grass. He's done well to catch that car. I probably would have lost it there. Mike Bundy's the fastest man in P3. Pettis Holland's the fastest man in P4. Wow, lots of talking tonight from me. Steve Pasley will have the benefit of DRS now on Lee now. DRS opening as he charges towards that Red Bull. This should be a pretty simple move. It's going to be very difficult though. He's a little bit further back. He's going to look down the inside. He decides not to. You do not brake for turn 1 here. You brake midway through. Ryan Cut under pressure from his teammate. Does Cyril Bitterful cool for these drivers a swap? Not in the S section. Do excuse me as my voice goes again. What can Owen get up to though? The number 39. I believe he's number 30. Yaram has lost the position again because he's ghosted. Yaram has rejoined us though. So we go to Yaram past. And now Z-Trexter down the inside of JB Ogun. JB Ogun got no defence for that Ferrari with DRS. The GP3 driver just having to give up the goat. Here is Thomas as he charges up after it. Remember, we only saw the Superstar tyres only managing 3 or 4 laps on the last night in GP3. Maybe the conditions were a little bit hotter. As Pasley on the back now of Lee Nell wants to make a point proven. Remember, we saw Lee Nell fighting for the championship last season in SFR. It hasn't really had the pace since he moved to Red Bull. And Pasley, who's fighting for the championship now, Sector 1, we have a yellow. I'm trying to work out who that would be. Ooh, who is in Sector 1? Is it constant yellow? No one's in Sector 1. Odd. Yellow flag. Twan battling hard with the Alfa Romeo. Has he had to give up the goat? Ryan Van Doom cut the corner. Maybe. Ryan Van Doom needs to give it up. And 130R. No, the chicane. It seems that Lee Nell has been passed by Steve Pasley. Now DRS open. There is yellow flags in different places now. I wonder if we have a yellow flag ticks. DRS open on the Nell's car as he heads towards turn 1. He decides not to try and go for a move. He had the pace there. Now, the race starting to settle down. Yaram into pit lane. Maybe it was Yaram that did it. Slowing in. Trying to find a battle that's close on track to show you all. Pulls in. There is a broken front wing on the Williams. Back to the Renault battle. So the streak of Z-Trexter is now the fastest man on track in P15. Sector 1's yellow flag, still a concert. It's Centre Crumpets! Centre Crumpets out! We'll see if we can find out what happened to him. Looks to be in the S's as we're going to go on board with Virus. See if we can find it. There are yellow flags. See it on the dashboard as he comes through. And there it is, the Force India out of possession. T. Jonas on the attack behind Twan. Twan, who's also on the attack behind Ryan Van Doom. We saw him go for an ambitious overtake earlier on. And Ryan had to take the evasive action. Remember, Twan does do commentary for Ryan Van Doom in GP3. So we see Sector 1's yellow flags are back. I don't know what's happened there. 3 drivers out of the race here. Rockin' Kid, Leon and Crumpets. Rockin' Kid leaving the session, obviously, because his car's destroyed. Ryan Van Doom has gone wide on his soft tyres. And the hunt is now with the Norwegians. Peter Solheim, fastest in Sector 1. Fastest in general, sorry. Fastest overall lap time. Thomas still pushing hard. His tyres looking to start to struggle now here in SFR. As Lee now pits for a new set of tyres, maybe for a new front wing. Maybe damaged it on the back of C. Pasley. He did have a bit of a squabble there. Twan trying it. We'll have a look at it now. Yeah, new nose for the Red Bull. I wonder how frustrated Lee gets with that. Still running his Toro Rosso helmet. Nope. You see Thomas looking like he's struggling on those super soft tyres. And Mike Bundy. Oh, look at that lockup from Thomas as he catches the car. Mike Bundy now. He's going to make this move. It's going to look pretty easy, but it's going to be a difficult overtake because you have to build up the time and get past him. Thomas has got zero grip, that's why he's locking up. That's the number 4 Haas. Mike Bundy looking to extenuate and have some fun. He has the pace to catch Electro Dan, in P1. But Dan has the driving seat tonight in SFR. This is what he's wanted for a while. Here's Twan on the back of Ryan. Ryan Van Doom still ahead as they head towards Sector 3. Mike Bundy on the back, basically pushing Thomas along. I think Thomas is going to have to pit this lap. His tyres are absolutely shot, as shown by that big lock up there. The house got no grip whatsoever. You'll always see him bail in the pit lane. That looks to be a collision in the pit lane. No, it is not. DRS over. It's going to be a 3 wide overtake here at turn 1. Peter Solheim pulling to the outside, and then Mike Bundy trying to go to the inside to go 3 wide into turn 1 here at Suzuka. And it has worked out, but Peter Solheim gone wide, but he has caught the car nicely. And Thomas, in the space of 1 corner, has lost 2 positions. Twan finally getting it past. Ryan Van Doom, there's contact! And Z-Trex has lost the rear end somewhere. Thomas, it's T. Jonas, sorry, not Thomas. T. Jonas has lost it at turn 1. Big rear end moment for the guy who's still training on his steering wheel. The Season 3 champion, showing that even he is struggling at this track. Smelly Badger with the run now on Ryan Cut. Down the inside of Degner 1. This is difficult. It pinches. He's round. Smelly Badger round into the barrier. And Smelly Badger gonna rue making that move. He might complain that Ryan Cut turned in on him, and that might go to the stewards. I'm not too sure. Thomas now not far away. His tyres certainly not given up to the point that he is going to be dropped by all of his drivers. Maybe it was just by Electro Dan, who has some amazing pace tonight. Yarim, the fastest man on the track, in P16. Lots of drivers pushing on as they head towards lap 7 here. Lee now with a time penalty in P13. He's struggling here in the race. Now Mike Bundy has to contest with Peter Solheim. DRS opening on the Norwegian's car as he heads towards turn 1. He's a lot further back though, so I very much doubt he'll make the move on Bundy yet. He is the closest man on track though to making a move, so he's going to follow him through the S's. Mike Bundy loves this track. Qualified in P4. Peter Solheim qualified in P1. But how times change with Peter Solheim, who struggled off the line. And now he's going to go hunting. Yo, Smelly Badger with a 5-second stop-and-go penalty for speeding into pit lane. The Red Bull driver. Rumour has it he's been signed to drive in GP3 as well as GP2, as he's right on the cusp of both requirements, both speed requirements. He's pretty much the same pace as he is in GP3 as he is in GP2. So it's very interesting that he potentially has been signed by Red Bull to drive in both championships as we head towards the final 3 weeks of SFR. Well, final 3 weeks of SFR in 2018, on the 2018 game. Remember, 2 champions we've had crowned on this game. Well, 3 champions technically. We had no, we'll have a champion crowned. We have 2 champions crowned at the end of this division. Then we've got to remember Nikos, who champion in Premier Division last season, and T. Jonas, who was champion in Season 4 as well. Season 3 as well, sorry, we're in Season 4 now. Peter Solheim has been dropped a little bit. Thomas still going on. No, he isn't. He's going into pit lane now. Is the Haas. He gets it all slowed down. No rookie mistake for Thomas, a driver who's learnt very well how to play this game. DRS open on Ryan Van Doom as he charged towards Twan's rear end. I doubt he'll get past. He's a lot further back than Twan was when Twan made the move. Peter Solheim, 3 tenths away. We'll look at it. We're still looking at Ryan Van Doom. He's very close. He's 3 tenths away from Twan. So one mistake, and Twan keeps skipping those those little grass runoffs. Not much runoff in these S's, so it's very difficult to get right. And Ryan just trying to get it all turned in to catch up to the racing point. He's ran wide though. He's dropped a tyre off the curb. He heads towards Dayton's 1 and 2. This is where we saw Smelly Badger spin and hit the barrier after making contact with what was Ryan Cut. The Renault's having a fantastic race. 4th and 5th right now. Yeah, what happens can I talk to you? Well, you can message myself, Lord JB13, Lionel, but you wouldn't message the admins that are racing right now, because they're racing, you don't want to distract them. But you can message myself, Rockin' Kid. You just drop me a message and you can talk to me about the incident. Ryan Van Doom running wide as Peter Solheim closer than ever on Mike Bundy's rear end. DRS open as he tries to make the move stick on Mike Bundy. He's going to get closer, but I don't think there'll be any cigar this time round. This chat on my tablet is going slow. Okay, thanks. That's alright. I have notifications off anyway, so you don't need to worry about texting me. Anyone could text me during the race. Oliver saying that he was meant to be watching the football. Well, you know my feelings on football, as I mentioned it earlier on. But he keeps getting drawn back into watching SFR. Well, SFR is entertaining. And then again, I'd say watch SFR, but I wouldn't watch myself back because I hate to sound my own voice. Mike Bundy starting to pressurise as they get closer and closer to Electro Dan. Maybe Electro Dan is one into the hairpin. I know Twan very well. Twan making his way through. Ryan Cut kissing the guy a little bit on the inside. And there behind, you see Ryan Van Doom. See Pasley wanted to make a move on Ryan Van Doom. Keep an eye on all the battles that are happening on track. It's very difficult on my own, but I think I'm covering it very well. And Ryan Van Doom getting a time penalty, the same place he got a time penalty last night in GP3. And charging now. Here's Peter Solheim, close, but no cigar. Mike Bundy, big oversteer moment. Same with Peter Solheim that might have ruined his run. Ryan Cut looking to the inside on Twan, decides not to. Decides better of it. See Pazzi though, looking to make a move too. He did not make the move stick. Owen into pit lane. The Renault is going to be the first one to make the stop on the soft tyres for a while. DRS opening as they all charge towards someone. Here's Peter Solheim. He's getting closer and closer. Here's Ryan Cut. Side by side as Ryan Van Doom gets passed by... I hope that's going to stay going. Ryan Van Doom does get passed by... that should disappear in a second. I am going to turn the Wi-Fi off on my phone. He gets passed by C. Pasley. Do excuse me. My Wi-Fi shouldn't be that bad. Lag in the session. Do excuse me. I have turned it off on my phone, so hopefully that will help. Peter Solheim looking at the back of Mike Bundy's car. He's been there for a while. He's getting frustrated of it, you could tell, as he starts to pour under speed. A couple of laps behind him, and Peter Solheim gets frustrated. Norwegian driver looking to make the move stick. Sooner rather than later. What can the soft tyre clad McLaren do versus that monstrous, mighty Mercedes? Remember, Mike Bundy is our championship leader here in GP2, challenged by, I believe, oh crikey, who's in P2 in the championship? Oh, Danny inside Peter Solheim trying to scare Bundy off the track. That was a very aggressive move, very decisive move, but Mike Bundy knew what he was doing and avoided it as Peter Solheim pulls into the pit lane. One final valiant attempt to get ahead of the Mercedes before he pits to go for the undercut strategy and hopefully come out ahead of the drivers ahead. Ryan Cut has slipped in ahead of Ryan Van Doom. So Ryan Van Doom looking to pass Cut, who's looking to pass Pasley. Cut into pit lane though. He's going to make his first stop. And it should be his only stop as Peter Solheim pulls out. See Pasley now on the run, looking to go past Twan. Twan, who started in P12, is looking at P11 is looking to consistently score points tonight. Currently in P3, but now Mike Bundy has got the pace. Mike Bundy looking for a race win here in GP3, GP2. Good gracious, I'm terrible tonight. And there you see T. Jonas looking at the back of his teammate is Zach Brown. And Gilles de Ferro are going to agree and say, get out of the way, Peter Solheim. I very much doubt they will. Oh, excuse me. I very much doubt they will due to the fact that Peter Solheim is on younger tyres. By far the youngest tyres on the grid, in fact. He has just stopped. And he's under pressure from his teammate. There won't be any form of overtake though, as Yarum gets another penalty for speeding into pit lane. Is that Yarum's day done? Mike Bundy though, 8 tenths away from the lead. 8 tenths away from taking the lead of the track that he enjoys, and taking the win away from the Toro Rosso Honda, which obviously this is their home race here in Japan. 12 out of 17, 12 laps completed, 12 out of 17, 12 out of 27. As both drivers pit now, Mike Bundy is now down the pit lane. Down to the crews. Who's fastest? Is it the Mercedes crew? We're going to follow the Mercedes as we're still on board with them. Medium tyres onto that. Dropping down now. Are they faster than Toro Rosso? Is he jumped him? Here's a Toro Rosso. They have released him. And he has not jumped him. But the gap has come down. As Twan now will be our leader here in GP2. For the first time in a long time, I'm saying that, is the racing point in P1. We'll see what he can do. As now, Smelly Badger, he starts to hunt down. He's 2-stopping now after that contact with Ryan Cut. And Ryan Van Doom dropping down a position as he's sitting in pit lane. Oh, I hit the wrong trigger there as I was aiming to do it. I was just taking a moment to breathe. Peter Solheim now 8 tenths away from Mike Bundy in front. Mike Bundy, who is obviously pitted. And Peter Solheim's going to be so annoyed that he hasn't got through then. And Mike Bundy obviously looking to pass him sooner rather than later. He wants to get past Electro Dan. The leader now is Twan ahead of C. Pasley. But the net leader is Electro Dan in P2 ahead of Mike Bundy in P3. And then P4, sorry. Oh. Drivers battling hard. Smelly Badger is 2 tenths away from JB Ogun. And we'll see what the Red Bull can do. Big rear end moment though for the 71 as he gets closer and closer to the GP3 driver. And the GP3 just has to stay back from the Red Bull. The Red Bull though charging closer than ever. Mike Bundy looks to have tried an overtake and he might have failed. Now trying to go around the outside is Smelly Badger and he has not made the move stick. He's close. And he has been almost driven out wide. Here we go. Peter Solheim getting closer and closer to Mike Bundy. This time we might actually see a move stick, but Mike will also have DRS on Electro Dan. DRS opening now on the Mercedes as Steve Pasley pits, charging down into turn 1. The monstrous time. Here comes Ryan Cut. Ooh, Virus with a big lag spike there. Might have been me. And Peter Solheim to the back. Thomas over with a penalty now in P6. He's lost the position to T. Jonas. Z-Truck's getting a 5-second stop go penalty for exceeding track limits. Ooh, one corner being particularly harsh tonight. Lean now on the back of Ryan Van Doom. Not on the back, along the side, and he has passed the Sauber into turn 1. He now still going. Electro Dan, he's dropped 3 positions though. So Electro Dan may have run wide and he's lost 3 positions. He's now down into P4. And Peter Solheim is now challenging for P2. This is for the race lead. The race lead, when Twan pits, will go back to Mike Bundy or whoever's in P2 right now. And Ryan Van Doom has not given it up from Nell. Crikey. That name is annoying sometimes. And look at that, see Pasley on the brakes, knowing what he's doing a reverse strategy of what he did last night. Medium tyres to the softs, and now he's going to get past Virus, the new driver. But it's going to be a pretty difficult move. As T. Jonas losing a position before 130 yards of Thomas. And Mike Bundy losing a position to Peter Solheim in the chicane. And now people charging up. They're trying to give us a good race here. They are truly giving us a good race. As Virus runs a little bit wide. He's getting closer to the Renault in front of Ryan Cut and C. Pasley. Looking to score points once more, as he so often does in GP2, when he comes over. The championship leader in GP2. Never forget that. Twan going on another lap on his medium tyres. 14 laps on those tyres. As Virus gets closer. That's not Virus who I'm looking at. That's the wrong camera angle. Virus, who is 2 tenths away from Ryan Cut, has to make the move stick and has to be able to keep the power down if he wants to pass of C. Pasley. Entertaining race tonight here in GP2. And Pasley looking praying to make a move stick soon. Right on the back, he has made the move up the inside. He's got a better run there, and Virus is going to battle into Degner 1, and this time he gives up the goat and leaves enough room for his drop down. Do excuse my voice. Don't know what's wrong with me today. Mike Bundy, 5 tenths away from pedestal line. Do excuse me, I'll just have a drink there. Hopefully nothing dramatic happens while I'm drinking. Normally it does. Oh, do excuse me. So Bundy, the Niki Lauda helmet. Looking to win here in Suzuka for Niki. Obviously today was Niki Lauda's funeral as Twan does pit. Running into pit lane for the first time is Twan. First time in a long time he's been racing, so he's looking very happy. Mike Bundy on the attack now. He can't draw alongside pedestal line. Not yet. And see Pasley though, he's looking to draw alongside Ryan Cutt. Dispensed with Virus earlier on in the lap, and this time he's going to make the move on Ryan Cutt if he can ladle it up. Like Ryan Cutt is on 3-lap old medium tyres. See Pasley on 2-lap old, soft tyres. Down the inside comes see Pasley very easily making the move stick, and Ryan Cutt unfortunately having to give up the position. He's ran wide very heavily now, and Virus is going to try and get closer, but Virus on 14-lap old softs is going to start to suffer, as those softs on his Williams are suffering. Remember, reserving tonight for James Braden. And James Braden, who is, I believe he's off watching the football. I don't know, I don't follow football. Centre 1 and 2, we have a yellow flag. It's C. Pasley. C. Pasley has had an accident in the Haas, the Gp3 championship leader. 9 points in the championship fight between him and Blaslam K, and he cannot afford to make it into it like that next week in Spa. Smelly Badger into pit lane for his second stop. Out now on the soft tyres. He should be going to the end of the race now. Ryan Van Doom has a chance of points now from his GP3 competitor. And it's all going to get very interesting here. And I believe... look at Lee now, making it up to P9. He's doing very well. Rear end slip though for the Red Bull. 10 laps on those tyres. He's starting to stuffer. Pedal line, the fastest man on track in P1. Mike Bundy. Maybe he's got something in reserve. Maybe he'll give us a good race for the lead as T. Jonas gets closer to Z-Trexter. Looking to make a move into 130R. He's looking. He has made the move stick. Z-Trexter's wide though. As Z-Trexter stays ahead. And then down the inside comes T. Jonas as Z-Trexter locks up heavily. And T. Jonas has made the move stick. Though for how long he has made it stick down now. And now DRS will come into effect for Z-Trexter. I believe. No, it's for T. Jonas, and that will help him out in the long run. Will help out Halvor. And now you see Lee passing Virus into turn 1, but Virus coming back at him, forcing the Red Bull wide. And that might go to stewards for impeding that. Virus driving a very, very wide racing car there. But you know Virus is cool because he's got a Z at the end of his name instead of an S. And Lee now just following the car off a little bit there as he tries to get past the Williams. I can only imagine what the radio's going on right now. Just going, what is he doing? Why isn't he out? Why isn't he getting out of the way? He's on the warm tyres. And Lee, he's dropped back a little bit. He won't try it into the hairpin. Oh, he has tried it. Danny Rexstar on the inside. He makes a little bit of contact there. And he makes the move stick. I think that's a little bit of revenge, though, for earlier on in lap. Sector 2's yellow flags are waving. Looky there. It's T. Jonas. It is T. Jonas. And he's round at the hairpin. There is damage on his car. Maybe that was contact with Z-Trexter. 5 tenths, 6 tenths is the gap at the top of the table now as they head towards lap cars. There looks to be Yaram ahead. It is the Williams of Yaram and Mike Bundy. He's going to look to try and capitalise on the fact that they have a lap car coming through the S's to close up on Peder Solheim. Remember, Peder Solheim on older tyres than Mike Bundy. And Mike Bundy, by 1 lap, is going to have the younger tyres and going to have the edge just for a bit on the Norwegian. The race well and truly not done. And Virus pitting with a damaged front wing, I believe. Or no, pitting for the first time in this race. Maybe second time, sorry. Yeah, pitting after an early one. He has a stop and go penalty though. And that will really, really, really affect his race. Moving Ryan Van Doom into the points now with that as he drops out of the points and into P12. T-John's pitting and same with JB Ogun, both pitting. JB Ogun is probably going to go onto the soft compound tyres and Mike Bundy still looking to get closer to Peder Solheim. Needing that lap car to come and impede Peder just a little bit. The Mercedes closer and closer to winning here, and McLaren still rooting on Peder Solheim for the win tonight. It could go any way and it looks to be going anyway. Drivers charging now towards the 19th lap of the race. And it's gone incredibly fast as Peter Solheim under pressure from the Mercedes. Our leader, the number 69 car ahead of the 95 car, is going to get that DRS sooner rather than later. I love when this is on. Oh, Brodius? I'm going to say Brodius. Is that right? Do excuse me, I'm dyslexic. I do enjoy commentating here as well. I do love watching these guys. These guys are very entertaining to watch. As Peter Solheim in P1 ahead of Mike Bundy in P2, Electrodown in P3. Very, very strong race from them. Remember, Electrodown led the first stint and then made a mistake and he has dropped down. But a race becoming a race of two people, Peter Solheim and Mike Bundy. Mike Bundy very good at not getting penalties. Peter Solheim very more aggressive, and Z-Trexter with a speeding into pit lane. I just want to have a look at that. Is that with a stop and go penalty as well? I wonder if that's going to be Z-Trexter retiring for the session. Here we go. On T. Jonas is JB Ogren, who will probably have to make a third stop now as he heads towards 130R. He's not confident enough to chuck it at the inside, but he wants to let the McLaren know he's there, and now he's going to look towards the inside. But no, he doesn't. Mike Bundy, 18,000th faster than his previous time as he heads towards Peter Solheim. Keeping my eye on every battle on track as best I can. Shout if you see anything in the chat. You'll probably be a bit, like, I think 30 seconds late. Peter Solheim, whoa, rear end slip for Mike Bundy as he's pushing those tyres to the absolute limit. Yaram is the fastest man on track in P16. No fastest lap award here in SFR. There's DRS opening on Mike Bundy's car. Wow, I really made that rhyme there. Look at that. Z-Trexter has come out of pit lane after a 5-second stop to go penalty in P13. He's going to try down the inside of Smelly Badger. Smelly Badger covers the inside, causing the Ferrari to lock up. And Mike Bundy, looking to have a turn of pace, can still win this race. But now Z-Trexter looking closer to the back of Smelly Badger's rear end. Lap 20 out of 27, so 8 laps remain of this Grand Prix. The race is only just heating up. Anything can happen in these 8 laps. And it normally does in SFR. Last week's winner, James Braden, will look back at this race and go, if I'd raced, I could have got a 3-5 win streak. But JB Ogun down the inside. Oh, it's contact, and the champion is round. It's almost wide. That might go to the stewards there. I wonder if JB Ogun's going to get called to let him through. There seems to be a little bit of contact as Smelly Badger loses the position into turn 1. We're going to keep an eye on this. Because I wonder if, no call for the Mercedes team to let him through. So he deemed us legal. That was a very, I don't know, it happens so fast at 130R. It's so difficult for me to judge whether that is a penalty worthy or not. Mike Bundy, P2. 8 tenths away. He had a couple of fast laps there. Maybe he's made a couple of mistakes this lap round. And Peter Solheim still ahead. I don't know what the penalty situation is and right now, and I cannot check. Z-Trexter with a multiple warnings type penalty. He might be heading towards the back flag if he's not careful. C. Jonas on the back of J. Bjerger. Oh, C. Jonas making a big mistake there. Excuse me. Making a mistake as he tries to make the move stick. We're going to look at C. Passing now. Sector 1 and 2. We have a yellow flag. That's further ahead. No idea who it is, though. It's Z-Trexter. Z-Trexter is round at Spoon. Z-Trexter struggling on his tyres. He's struggling at this track, to be honest, right now. He seems to be struggling. Everything to do is, and now lean out under pressure from the GP3 championship leader. A possible champion on his way out of SFR. His final season in SFR is Steve Pasley charging towards the end of his SFR career. Ryan cut with a time penalty in P7, sorry. He will be receiving a 3-second time penalty, excuse me. And Lee Nell, faster than ever, but not fast enough right now. Under pressure, 15 laps on his tyres. And he has made a stop. He's looking to go to the end, I think. He may make another stop. Lap 21 out of 27. And now, for the first time in a long time, Mike Bundy has dropped out of DRS contention of Peter Solheim. So maybe Bundy's going for a slower lap to recharge his batteries than to go on a full attack lap against the McLaren. It's going to be Lee now covering the inside. He has, in fact, let C. Pasley through. So maybe he let him through because he's like, I'll lose too much time if I battle him. And Yaram is out in Sector 1. Is that going to cause a safety car? No, it has not caused a safety car here in SFR. And actually, no, Lee pitting. That's the reason he let him through. We're right on board with Lee into pit lane. We've always got to love GP2's race atmosphere and how well they do. Lee now dropped out onto super soft tyres. He's going to go for the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. He's dropped to P10. Where's Virus? Virus coming through the chicane now. Will not be a hindrance of Lee Nell. Yaram leaving the session, understandably. 4 drivers out of the race. Leon, Rocking Kid, Scented Crumpets and Yaram will fail to make it to the flag. And for the first time in a while, it's looking at Petter Solheim might win this race. Mike Bundy still has a chance though. If he's going for a couple of recharge laps, we'll see what can happen. If you're enjoying the stream, please let me know in the stream chat. We've still got a lot of time to go here in SFR. So I'm still here for a bit. We had a scary possible restart situation as the game decided that it didn't want to work for a moment earlier on. But it's fine now. And I think Mike Bundy has started to pile it on pace-wise to have a look at it. We're going to keep an eye on the gap. We're going to go have a look at other drivers. Let's have a look at Ryan Carr. He has a time penalty that will drop him down to P8 as C. Pasley starts to get closer than ever on the Renault driver. There's still all gaps outside of the point of the 0 point something range. I completely forgot what I was saying there. Naturally 3 out of 27. Your solo commentary tonight brought to you by JB. Hello, that's me. If you don't know me, I'm a nutcase who shouts about racing cars and is normally seen on every SFR stream. If you're interested in joining SFR as a commentator, please let me know on PlayStation or contacting me on Twitter, on the SFR Twitter, which is at SFRPS4. And that would be really awkward if we ever go to PS5. She's joined us with a time penalty in P15. Scored points last week in Spain. Struggling now at Suzuka. This track is very difficult, as GP3 showed last night. So Mike Bundy, 1.3 seconds away from the lead. Maybe he's settling for as very bad he gets a time penalty too. I'm going to now reach over and check who's all sector 1. We have a yellow. It is Smelly Badger, who has in fact made a big mistake. Let's have a look and see where he is. He's in the gravel and he's waiting for drivers to come through. There goes JB Hogan. And there goes T. Jonas. Smelly Badger, 7 laps old tyres, is starting to struggle. I'm now going to check quickly where we're looking at. Right, I'm just going to try and check something. We are still looking at Smelly Badger right now. Z-Trexler looks to have made a mistake as well in all of that situation. Do excuse me as I went silent for just a moment as I'm looking at who the championship contenders are. Actually, the championship contenders are in reverse order right now, with Petter Solheim in P1 and Mike Bundy in T2. So this battle, as I had to remember what it was, is the battle for the championship. Mike Bundy is still ahead though by quite a margin. But this will definitely help Petter Solheim if he finishes the race on top tonight. And Mike Bundy, he's powered up his Mercedes. He's thinking, right, I've had enough now. Time to go. Lee Nell is the fastest man in the race in where is he? P10. After a couple of incidents, Mike Bundy starting to get closer to Petter Solheim again for the lead of the race, looking to pass the McLaren for P1. It's so borderline. I really don't know which way to go. I think Petter Solheim has the pace tonight. He was on pole position, failed to get off the line, had a Mike Bundy-esque start. Petter just didn't move. Centre 1 and 2 yellow flags. It's Ryan Van Doom. Ryan Van Doom losing a position. He must have had a half spin there. His rear end's been looking loose all day. Z-Trexler pulls into pit lane. No nose for the Ferrari. And another stop and go penalty. Ferrari definitely struggling here. They had the pace with Leon. And Z-Trexler said he could have had pole position in qualifying. The Red Bull coming in as well for Smelly Badger. He's had enough tonight, actually. Smelly Badger had enough, and he's thought, you know what, I'm done. Retiring the car, maybe floor damage, but obviously you can't get that in the game. And I wish, I normally try and think of an actual excuse of why they would retire the car, but yeah, Smelly Badger leaving the session. Had enough tonight. 2, 3, 4 laps to go, I think. Sorry, as I can't count. Sector 1's yellow flags, that'll be Smelly Badger's car. Still a chance, though, for Mike Bundy to win this race. I'm not sure who's on the penalty situation right now, so penalty line could have enough. Then Mike Bundy would lose a position. That would take the win tonight, I'm not sure. Sector 3's yellow flags, it's Virus! 2 of the rookies are out here, and JB Ogan running wide. 2 rookies out. Oh, that's a big accident for T. Jonas. He's in the barrier. We saw that. He just skimmed the grass. There's his teammate coming through. And Mike Bundy 2. 62 and 3's yellow flags. What an incident there. T. Jonas just losing the rear end and slapping his way through. Virus, it looks to have lost it at the final corner. Yeah, there's lots of damage there. What an incident there. 2 drivers getting into at once, and I think we're seeing T. Jonas pulling into pit lane. Maybe that McLaren is too heavily damaged to race. He's going very slowly. Maybe he's worried that he's risking a puncture. He's pulled into pit lane, and now he's heading down towards his box. Peter Solheim, P1, on the penultimate lap of the race. See Pasley now, gaining a lap time, gaining on Ryan Cutt ahead. So if I completely stutter on what I'm saying, I do apologise. Ryan Cutt looking to pass, looking to stay in P7. He has a penalty, so it's going to be hard for him to stay in P7. He's on 14 lap old medium tyres and other soft tyres, starting to gain traction. And we're heading towards the final lap of the Grand Prix for... Oh, Ryan Cutt's made a big error! He's run a little bit wide. And there's T. Jonas. He's just come out of pit lane behind these guys, been lapped by almost the entire field he has after that very tough incident. And Ryan Cutt struggling now on his rear end grip as Ryan Van Doom pulls into pit lane. And Peter Solheim coming up to 130R. Still got a chance. Let's have a look at Ryan Van Doom. What's happening here? New front wing? Nope. His tyres just would not have made it to the end. He has a gap to pit. He has a safety pit stop. So Sauber calling him in and saying, pit now, you have safety, you will still be in P10. But now through 130R and through the chicane, Peter Solheim is going even faster this lap. DRS opening, no DRS opening, sorry. And he's gone on to the final lap of the Grand Prix here in Suzuka. The race almost done as Ryan Cutt gets closer to Steve Pasley. He seems to have a good turn of pace. Remember, he has a time penalty that will drop him behind Steve Pasley no matter what, with a 3 seconds high penalty, unless Pasley gets a big incident now into 130R. They're almost making contact. There's going to be a move. Is it going to be before 130R? Pasley does not fight it as much. And well done to Ryan Cutt for making that move into the very, very, very fast left-hander. Again, whoa, T. Jonas lost looking the rears or something, and he's completely jumped up the inside. See Pasley now with the DRS is going to get past Ryan Cutt. This is a fantastic little race here. See Pasley. Whoa, he's got even further to the inside as Ryan Cutt defended the inside. He's trying to scare the runner off track and he hasn't managed it. But we're getting closer now to the end of a lap. And I wonder if Peter Solheim is going to be victorious tonight. Again, on penalties, I can only assume that I think Peter Solheim is going to be victorious as he heads up towards 130R for the last time here in Suzuka. Championship rivals, Mike Bundy. Maybe he's got a problem. He's dropped down a lot now. But let's give the gas through 130R for the last time. And it's going to be a man who's in second place in the championship, looking to pass, looking to make inroads into becoming Season 4 champion in GP2. Crossing the line, Peter Solheim wins here in... No! Mike Bundy wins! Peter Solheim must have had a time penalty. Mike Bundy is our winner tonight. The 95 Mercedes victorious. And Electra Dan P3 here. He might have passed his teammate in the championship. Thomas P4. Owen P5. Twan on return P6. Very confident there. Ryan Cutt battling hard. Is going to finish in P7. Z-Trexler finishing in P12. Ryan Cutt is actually going to finish in P8 because of the time penalty. T. Jonas, after a difficult race, is in P13. Lee Nell, points after a difficult qualifying session, is in P9. Electra Dan, look at that, all top 3 in one picture. Electra Dan making contact though because his AR's got more fuel than the others. Look at that though. Mike Bundy is in P1 ahead of Peter Solheim in P2 and Electra Dan in P3. What an immense race there. What an absolutely fantastic race there. Glorious, amazing fun, and Steve Pass is saying that was annoying, rather than that was amazing that he said last night. Still waiting on Ryan Van Doom to finish in P10. Well done to him. So, where's JB Oga? He's just crossing the line now. So we normally try and stay above with the leader, but I had to see where he was. Our winner tonight on penalties, Mike Bundy in P1. Ahead of Paterson in P2. Punched off a turn 1 from a driver, says Steve Pasley. And there he is. Mercedes on top ahead of the McLaren in P2, and Toro Rosso is in P3. Mike Bundy lifting the barrier, lifting the cup. The man to break James Braden's 4-time winning streak in SFR. James Braden, though, not his defender. Don't go anywhere, folks, because we're going to have a chat with these guys at the end of this race. But here are the unofficial results, barring penalties. Don't look at my reward, it's terrible. Barring any post-race penalties on the stewards. Mike Bundy is in P1 ahead of Peter Solheim in P2. Electro Dan is in P3. Thomas is in P4. Owen is in P5. Twan is in P6 on return. Steve Pasley is in P7. Ryan Cutt is in P8. Linell is in P9. Ryan Van Doom takes home points for Sauber in P10. Outside of the points were JB Ogan in P11, Z-Trexter in P13, T. Jones in P14, drivers who did not make it to the flag tonight. Virus, Smelly Badger, who chose that it was enough for him to race, he had enough racing. Yaram, Centre Crumpets, Rocking Kid, and Leon failed to make it to the grid. To the flag, even. So, shall we have a chat with our top 3? I think we should. Wait to go back to the lobby before we do. Okie dokie, pulling the pipe. Let's have a look and get Mike Bundy. Ooh, if it will work, there we go. Mike Bundy, please. Mike Bundy. We like Mike Bundy. Pictures of an Alfa Romeo. You'd have thought he would have updated it, seeing as he potentially could win a championship here. Peter Solberg. Solberg? Peter Solheim. Excuse me. As I now get who is the next one? Electro Dan. He's left here, so I'll have to invite him via the party screen on here. Do excuse me. Where is Electro Dan? Mike Bundy has joined us. And there's a lovely echo off his headset, so we can always tell he's here. Peter Solheim has joined us as well. That's quite a headset. No echo from him. Where is hello mate, how are you doing? Alright, I'm on my own tonight, so I'm okay. Let's see if I can find Electro down here. He may not want to do an interview. We'll see what I can do. Do excuse us as we just wait. Yes, I know my microphone's the only thing being sold. Being sold? I'm not selling my microphone. Don't actually have one. It's all in my headset. Electro down. Yes, okay, let's invite him to the party. See if he'll join us tonight. I should probably add these people to my friends list, you know. Right, I'm just going to check with you two gentlemen. You've got your voices to share, haven't you?
Yep.
Do excuse me for the extended blue screen period there. Okay. Now we would see if Dan will join us. If in doubt, let's just check. Dan saying he's not coming to the interview because he's too annoyed. Oh, well, so we'll start with... Well, this is going to be a very tasty interview then, because Peter Solheim, P2. Congratulations on P2. But that penalty has taken it away. Just tell us what you're feeling right now.
No, my race was destroyed at the start, so I'm feeling kind of terrible because I had a terrible start and got back to P6, I think, so I had to do a major job to get back up there.
But nonetheless, you did an amazing job to get back up there. I mean, personally, if I got a bad start like that, I probably would have ended up dead at turn 1. And Mike Bundy used to do that all the time. So, but yes, it's But just take us through how difficult it really was to pass on this track, because we know this isn't particularly the easiest track to pass on.
No, it's really hard. You have to be very consistent and go into the turn, and you have to believe that you can get past. And the one overtake I had was like I was just going in and hope for the best and got the best out of it. So in the first corner, I go around on the outside, and that's a really hard move to do. And then I got a penalty, but at least I get past. So it was a quite hard race to get past, and I tried my best to go as fast as I could every single lap. But I struggled a little bit with the ARS mode and the fuel, so I had to be careful in that. I think Mike got the that I far ahead. So it was a hard race, but I think my pace was good, and I'm really looking forward to the next race.
With it now, with you being second place in the championship, has that altered the way you're handling the races, or are you still attacking the races you did earlier on in the season?
No, of course I'll change my strategies a little bit. I'll go for the safer ones that I think could win the races. But in the start of the season, I just go full attack. But I think this is the way to do it.
And just looking back at the start of the season, though it was a long time ago, you had a few missed races, didn't you? Do you think if you hadn't missed those races, you could have been much closer to Mike by now?
Nah, I don't know. Mike have done an incredible job, and I don't know. But of course, if I've had started the races, I'll probably get some points. But that's hard to tell, really.
Looking forward to next week, we're heading back to Europe and heading to Spa. How are you feeling? You feeling confident heading to Spa-Francorchamps?
Yeah, I think it's a great track, and I'll love the track. But of course, I'll lay down some practice and hopefully be the quickest man on track. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, congratulations on P2. Though it was a difficult race, you still managed to get into P2. Though you finished the race in P1. I know, penalties are interesting, aren't they?
Yep.
Well, we'll head more to the man who finished in second place, who has won the race. I know, more confusing. Mike Bundy, aren't you pleased he didn't have one of your trademark starts today?
I think my starts got passed on to Pedder this race because he just didn't go.
He didn't. He just got a bout of wheel spin, didn't he?
Yeah. I was quite trying to think conservative in the opening stages, so I was quite happy that I did get a good start. And then basically the first stint was just trying to manage the tyres, and then me, Pedder, and Thomas had a 3 wide on the straight, which I didn't like. I didn't like the 3 wide on the straight. And then what happened then? Then pitted. And then Electra Dan, I don't know what happened to him. He just went wide and then stopped. So, and then it was all about once Pedder got past me. I knew he had a penalty because my engineer told me. So I was just sitting there thinking, I've just got to stay within 3 seconds. So, yeah, that was my race.
With the penalty then in tow, did that make you calm down on track, or did it make you think, okay, I still want to pass him for the lead? But did you always have in your head that if you got too close, you thought you'd back out of it?
Well, after he got past me, obviously I just thought, well, I need to conserve second place anyway, because if worst comes to worst, I'm only going to lose 7 points. And if I binned it, then I would have lost 25. So I was kind of acting a bit more conservative all the way through the race. Just not trying to risk anything. That's why I was leaving quite a lot of. I was respecting the track a bit too much. I was not really going on any of the curves or anything. I was trying to stay away from them.
Well, you've basically answered my next question. You're leading the championship still, but you've extended your gap at the top of the championship now. Sorry, I still think you're finishing P2, but you're finishing P1. The whole championship mentality, you've been battling with it all season long. You've always come up to every race and you've acted it all the same though, haven't you? You haven't really changed your mentality at the race, have you?
Not really. I
will apologise, sorry, I've just realised that question was terribly laid out.
I normally think more about consoling a position. I don't try to risk too much trying to go for an overtake. I'm more about consolidating the points that I'm going to get. I don't want to. That's why I wasn't when I was catching. Even when I was catching Dan before he made the mistake, I probably would have just sat there. I wouldn't have, unless he obviously, once he did make the mistake, I got past. But I wasn't going to try a move, obviously, because I knew Pedal was right behind me. So I just thought, I'll console second place.
Well, nonetheless, you take home the win with the penalty in tow. Does that change your mentality? Does it sour the victory just a little bit?
It does sour the victory because obviously Pedal was rapid, but yeah, I mean I'm pretty sure, I don't know how he was driving, but I was turning the ERS up and the Rich Fieldmates just to keep up with him. I was like, I'm not letting you get away, not letting you get over 3 seconds. So, but yeah, I mean, penalties is always a tricky subject. I don't really like penalties, but yeah.
Looking forward to next week in Spa. Are you going to take the same approach as this race to try and respect the track a little bit more, or are you going to attack Eau Rouge and Radion the way you always would?
I'm definitely going to respect the circuit, because that just spins you and sends you into a different dimension if you lose it on that corner.
Well,
so
if you lose it at a certain point, you actually do end up in Le Castellet.
Yeah, so I'll be respecting Eau Rouge and Radion a bit more than probably I would normally.
Nonetheless, congratulations on both of you guys. Commiserations to Electro Dan, who at one point did lead the race but made a mistake, and it cost him a victory today. But nonetheless, well done to all three of you drivers for getting on the podium. Thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you next week in Spa. Well, now because it's only me at the end of the stream, there's not really much to talk about. I can talk about how much my toenails grow or something, but you don't want to know that. That's all on my private blog. But you just see why I have no filter when I'm talking. I can imagine Bundy's just giggling in the background now. But anyway, he giggled now. You hear that in the background. Nonetheless, SFR is now done here in Japan, so we leave Japan and head over to Spa for next week's race. Obviously, Spa, the longest track on the calendar. By distance-wise, not by corner length, so that still goes to Singapore. But it's going to be really fun to see how the drivers negotiate that very, very, very tricky Radion and Eau Rouge complex due to the suspension changes in this game that made it so much more difficult to keep it in a straight line going through there. Thank you so much for watching. My name is JB. Thank you to all the drivers who have raced here tonight in GP2, still can't get it right, and GP3 who raced yesterday night. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week in Spa, where I'll be joined by Twan on commentary on Tuesday. Have a very good night, and we'll see you next time. Ta-ra, guys!